Before the aircraft carriers, before the fighter jets, before America became the most powerful military force on Earth, there were farmers, blacksmiths, shopkeepers, standing in muddy fields, holding muskets, and somehow, that small, under-equipped force would lay the foundation for a military empire. So how did it happen? How did a group of colonies fighting the strongest empire in the world become the foundation of today's global superpower? This is where it all began. In 1775, the Continental Army was formed. Not polished, not professional, not powerful, just determined. Led by a man who had never commanded a modern army before, George Washington. They were outnumbered, outgunned, out-trained, and they were up against the British Empire, the strongest military power on the planet. We last 24 hours, create a nation, training loose and be remembered as rebels. There was no backup plan. But something changed during those brutal winters, especially at Valley Forge. It wasn't equipment, it wasn't numbers when you're told. It was discipline. After independence, America wasn't suddenly powerful. In fact, the War of 1812 proved something uncomfortable. The young nation was still fragile. Washington burned the Capitol in flames. That moment could have broken the country. Instead, it hardened it. Military leaders realized something important. If America wanted to survive, it needed a real structured fighting force. Training improved, command systems evolved. Military academies gained importance. Slowly, the foundation was being built. Then came the moment that would transform everything, the Civil War. Not just a war between armies, but a war within the nation itself. And that's where fighting brothers, families divided, you stop thinking. And for the first time, warfare changed dramatically. Railroads moved troops faster. Telegraphs carried commands instantly. Industrial production fueled battle. The scale was massive. Over 600,000 lives lost. But from that tragedy, something powerful emerged. The United States military began to modernize. Strategy became sharper. Logistics became smarter. Coordination became stronger. America learned not just how to fight, but how to sustain war. If you're into real military history, not the watered-down version, this is exactly what we do here at the Pentagon Report. We break down how power was built, how strategies evolved, and what shaped the modern U.S. military. If you respect high-quality military documentaries, hit subscribe and stay connected. This series only gets bigger from here. By the late 1800s, something was different. America was no longer just defending itself. It was preparing. Industrial strength was growing. Shipbuilding expanded, military doctrine matured. The country that once fought for survival was starting to think globally. But no one, not even its leaders, could predict what was coming next. In the early 1900s, the world would ignite. Empires would collapse. Millions would march to war. Technology would change battle forever, and America would be forced to decide, stay isolated, or step onto the global stage. That decision would transform the U.S. military forever. In Part 2, we'll see how world wars turned a growing nation into a global military powerhouse. This is the Pentagon Report. If you want serious, high-quality military history and defense breakdowns, subscribe and join us, because the story of America's military power is just getting started.